had a conversation here some time ago about the legislation that they've introduced, such as the Whistleblower Protection Act 2023, Unauthorized Disclosure of Official Information Act 2023, the Anti-Corruption Act 2023, and other acts that have been there, such as the Integrity in Public Life Act, amended in 2023, and the Freedom of Information Act 2018, amended in 2023. So on tomorrow, Friday, the Ministry of National Security will be meeting, and that's within the Attorney General's office, to have a press conference on speaking about the nation's commitment or ongoing commitment to transparency, integrity, and accountability. These are things that Caribbean countries strive towards, although there are a few people who just, for some reason, I don't know, maybe they don't want to be a part of the agenda of stamping out corruption. But I will tell you, stamping out corruption is not as easy as some may want it to be, because first and foremost, you are dealing with people, and people are going to be people. But it is still necessary and good to implement legislation, to implement policies, to implement guidelines, regulations, to ensure that things are done with integrity and accountability. I think that is what our people have been calling for, and that is what our people deserve, for people who hold public office or any prominent office, for them to act with the utmost integrity and accountability. It says, in conjunction with the worldwide celebration of International Corruption Day 2023, which is observed annually on December 9, the Attorney General's office, together with the Ministry of Justice and Legal Affairs in St. Kitts and Nevis, they will hold a press conference, and the focus is on the good governance transformation. It is a step in the nation's ongoing commitment to transparency, integrity, and accountability. At this event, you will hear from the Attorney General, the Honorable Garth Wilkin, the Director of Public Prosecutions and the Special Prosecutor Adley Smith, Justice Pauletta Lands, the Chairperson of the Federal Integrity Commission, Dennis Knight, Commissioner of the Federal Integrity Commission, Ricardo Keynes, Chairperson of the Nevis Integrity Commission, Sidney Newton, Commissioner of the Nevis Integrity Commission, and Reverend Bishop Cyprian Williams, Ombudsman Information Commissioner. These are the officials who will be speaking at this event, and the intent is to highlight and summarize key legislative measures that form the bedrock of St. Kitts and Nevis's good governance transformation, including the Anti-Corruption Act 2023, the Integrity in Public Life Act 2013, amended in 2023, the Freedom of Information Act 2018, amended in 2023, the Whistleblower Protection Act 2023, and the Unauthorized Disclosure of Official Information Act 2023. Now, according to Attorney General Wilkin, this year's International Anti-Corruption Day theme is UNCAC at 20, Uniting the World Against Corruption, and it mirrors St. Kitts and Nevis's collective journey in combating corruption. He added, quote, "This was a collaborative effort by the Ministry, the Attorney General's Office, and the Integrity Commission, and shows the government's commitment to implementing good governance institutions to stand the test of time and buttress the sustainable island state we endeavor to become." It is 10 minutes past the 11 o'clock hour, and you're listening to The Edge in ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Devonne Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining me on the program for today. The phone lines will be open, and you can call us at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. Again, 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. Prime Minister Dr. Drew will be going in the Parliament on Wednesday, so the National Assembly will meet next Wednesday for a budget debate. Then the Prime Minister will present the budget for the fiscal year 2024, the annual financial statements and the budgetary proposals for the new year. According to Section 71.3 of the National Assembly's standing orders, following the budget speech by Minister of Finance, the motion for the second reading of the bill will be seconded, and the debate on it will be deferred to a later date as determined by the Minister of Finance. So basically, Wednesday is when he will lay the financial statements and the budgetary proposals, and the following day is when other members would be able to participate in the debate. The debate will actually begin then, and you will hear from other members of the government bench and members of the opposition bench giving their take. Nevis had their budget being presented on Tuesday. The budget for the island of Nevis, or the Nevis Island Administration, is $282.7 million. That budget will be funded by current revenue, which is $154.8 million. $66 million is coming from the CBI program. 3.5 is coming from grant funding, and a little bit over 13 million, I think it's 13.8 or 13.7, is coming from concessionary loans. So that's $282.7 million for the Nevis Island Administration. So we listen out next week, Wednesday, to hear when or what the budget will be for the federal government. We'll take a break now, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation right here on The Edge on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. Let's take this break, and we will be right back.
At ZIZ, we want to take a moment to salute our small business owners and encourage you to support them. Our small business owners are always hard at work providing quality goods and services to you. They also provide employment for many and can be counted on to give back to our communities. Today and every day, we salute our small business owners and we say thank you for the opportunity to provide advertising services to you. If you're a small business, call us at 465-2621 to join our family of small business advertisers. Call us 465-2621. You'll be glad you did.
Tis the season to be merry with ZIZ Radio and Television Broadcasting Network. And what a better way to make your business stand out than by spreading holiday cheer to your potential customers with our spectacular Christmas package designed to help your business shine during this festive season. We'll tailor our advertising solutions to match your unique business needs. Whether you are a cozy local shop, a trendy online store, or a bustling service provider, we've got something special for you. Plus, our packages are incredibly cost-effective, allowing you to get the most value for your marketing budget. But that's not all. When you choose our Christmas packages, you get ear-catching radio and eye-catching television spots that will keep your business on everyone's mind. Social media campaigns that will keep your followers engaged and excited. So what are you waiting for? This Christmas, make your business the star of the show and give your customers a reason to celebrate. Call us at 465 465-2621, 465-2622, or visit our sales and marketing department to learn more about our Christmas packages. Together, let's make this holiday season truly magical for your business. Merry Christmas and happy business to you.
Welcome back to The Edge in ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Devonne Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining me on today's edition of The Edge for December 7, 2023. We are on the topic of the good governance transformation being spearheaded by the Attorney General's Office and the Ministry of Justice and Legal Affairs, with some input from the Integrity Commission. Now, I am of the view that it cannot be business as usual. We cannot continue to operate like how we were operating before, where it's like a wash your foot and come business, and people feel that they could just come and do as they like. When you take up public office and you are now in charge of managing the affairs of the state, you are managing public purse, it cannot be a free-for-all, as we have seen. Hence the reason why these legislations have been put in place. Now, I do agree and I do understand that even though there have been similar legislations and sorts of things in place to mitigate against corruption, they still happen. Somebody find a loophole, somebody find a way to go in there and do what they're not supposed to do. So while you're coming to us to say, why, really and truly, I want to go in there to represent you and to ensure that there is employment for all, access to education, free health care, quality health care, you have a situation where that has not been the case. And you would agree with me when I say that it is time that those things come to an end. It is time that those things come to an end. Hence the reason I said it cannot be business as usual. So we are going to be celebrating Anti-Corruption Day. And mechanisms and legislations are being put in place to stamp out corruption at all levels. At all levels. How possible would it be? Would there be challenges? Of course, especially as a small island where you have everybody knowing everybody. And I think we had this conversation some time ago when we were saying, boss, really and truly, if you are supposed to be the gatekeeper and your friend show up and say, man, walk with me and we split this, so you get a cut and I get a cut, then unfortunately your human nature is going to take control of the situation. And you find you have a case where the gatekeeper, who is supposed to be trustworthy, who is supposed to have integrity and transparency, they're just as bad. But these legislations are very important. These legislations are very important. Yes, we've had legislations like these in the past and people still find a loophole. But I encourage you to take a listen, or for those of you who can, take a read of these legislations and see what they speak to. I have read some of them, not in their entirety, not in its entirety, but I'll be bringing the information, but not all at once, in pieces, in bits and pieces, so you could follow me and understand, what is it that I am saying. But stamping out corruption is not just to come and say that you want to stamp out corruption. We have to be serious with it. It has to be serious business. If it is a case that we're just going to come and say, yeah, we're stamping out corruption, yeah, then it's not going to happen. And the tough decisions will have to be made. Some people will be offended in the process, and that's absolutely fine. That's fine. as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. I am of the view that we cannot continue to, and I'm going back to saying business as usual. It cannot be a case where we're saying, yeah, we want good governance, yeah, we want things to be done right in the country. But whenever an effort is made to do these things, we're saying, well, why they want to do that, or why they're trying to get at people, or why they're trying to get after, a section of the society. So I think it is also a question that we have to ask ourselves. What do we want as a people? Do we truly want transparency and accountability in St. Kitts and Nevis? Do we truly want a corruption-free state? Those are the questions. So sit and ask yourselves. But the question that will follow, that may surprise you, is what are we willing to sacrifice? Remember, I mentioned earlier, you might have gatekeepers. And these gatekeepers, they have friends and family and colleagues and whatever you want to call them. And so your task is to ensure that there is the utmost integrity and accountability, and there is a great level of transparency. But your human nature, sadly, takes control. And when you were supposed to be the gatekeeper, you're joining with others to do wrong. So I welcome the introduction of the good governance transformation. People will tell you all the time, and they may not have the conversation in a public space. Perhaps it's just a conversation that happens in the living room. Perhaps it's a conversation that happens at the dinner table. Maybe it's a conversation that happens in their car. People talk all the time about corruption and corrupt practices that take place across the Caribbean region. And what can we do to stamp out corruption? At all levels. Are we going to support and allow people to conduct their investigations so that the perpetrators can be brought to justice? These are very important questions. For me, I just cannot. I won't be that person who's gonna say, yeah, good governance, yeah, we want that. But what are you doing? That's the question. And that is why these acts, some have been amended, some have been introduced for the first time. So I see the effort, and I applaud, and I welcome it. But all people have to now condition themselves, or ask themselves rather, what do you want? We can't be saying on one hand you want the government to be transparent, but on the other hand you are demanding a free house and a piece of land from the government because you and your family voted for them in the elections. You have to pay for it. It is 11:24. You're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. The phone lines are open. We have any callers? Okay. The phone lines are open. Call us at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. 465-2555, 718-577-2916. We have a caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Devonne.
Yes, welcome.
How you do?
I am doing great.
Well, you see, I keep warning you, tell you must crash back from the edge. You see, me and your father tumbled over there yesterday. It's a good thing we could swim.
Aye.
But anyway, I found my elbow and I got a big sore foot on my elbow. So anyway.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. Sorry to hear.
Okay, man. Yeah, I like the topic. I love the topic with all the transparency, accountability, good governance, and integrity. I am glad for them. But, as usual, after a couple of days, when this bill is passed, it's going to be another talk shop. Because too long we've been hearing a lot of talking about this going in place and that must put in place and the other. And it's for the whole week, and then after that, back to square one. Who can guard the guard? Because right now in St. Kitts, they've been talking about this integrity bill and transparency and all of that. And one big person high at the top, they break the law with taking out an employee deduction for the Social Security and hold it back. And then when they're confronted with it, when the whistle blows so hard, and from who blew the whistle, they couldn't believe they're blowing the whistle. And so they admit publicly that what they did was wrong. So the question is still there out there, you know. They're going to find a loophole to break the law. Anything man on this earth you make, they're going to be a weak spot to go get a loophole in there. Anyway, enough of that. Let me say something else again here. Now, Devonne, we see the way things are going with people's lives, apart from accidents. Too many persons are developing what you call cancer in 2 weeks, and then next thing they're dead. We know that the human body has cancer cells. And if we eat right, and everything we can orally consume in the right way, we will live really long, and we would be able to fight those cancer cells from advancing. And one of the things I believe, and from what I was told by a radiologist in St. Thomas, who worked in St. Thomas Hospital, he came by me one day and he saw a microwave. And he said, "What are you doing with that in here, boy?" I said, "How do you mean, what are you doing with that?" Some people who had to work for, they give it to me. Some white people, they were going back to America. And he explained to me the danger of what hot up the food. I said, "You're right. Definitely right. Because if you put a gallon of water in a pot out on the 3-stone fire, and you put a gallon of water in that microwave, and you set it to 2 minutes. In the 2 minutes, the gallon of water in the microwave don't lay go steam and could burn you up. While the 3-stone out, they're going to take a couple minutes well before it get hot." And when he explained to me what heats up the water, I said, "Thank you, brother." I take it up and I put it down the road. I ain't mash it up. I just put it high up on a bin and say, "Who need it? Take it up, but I ain't giving nobody." So people, be careful. Do not eat nothing quick cook to eat. Those are the things that they're giving people cancer. Go back to basics, step on your stove or your 3-stone. Thank you, Devonne.
Thank you, caller, for your contribution to the program. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this call.
Yeah, good morning, Devonne.
Good morning. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, first I want to thank God for the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis, a blessed country, and let me continue to pray. Because the hurricane season come and gone, and let us with no stress. And let me continue to press up for some rain. It bring much rain. But let me continue to pray for rain, because it seems to me like the rain is really getting back. And you know, the animal and the farmers, them out there, you know, depend on the rain, depend on the water, depend on everything to nature. Now, Brother Devon, let's hope and see that these bills, the integrity in public life, the whistleblower and everything, work for the ordinary man and woman because when these things take place in government and people do as they like and mismanage money and all these things and get in the wrong hands and all these things, is we the taxpayers suffering because of that. So let us hope that these things work out and everything go right. Even if this government go and next government come, let's see that everything go fair. Because it's only fair when you do the right thing and the ordinary man and the woman in this country benefit. Because when one man going to take maybe 20 million, 15 million, 100 million, take 100,000, take this and take that, whether you're a PS, minister, government, or whatever, and because no act was there for that, the anti-corruption act wasn't there for that, all these things take place. So let me see now that going forward, this thing will work out with any other administration getting in there under this integrity in public life and this whistleblower act and whatever law, the anti-corruption law.
You know what?
But Devonne, you have a blessed day. May God bless.
But before you go, caller, you know what is also important, right? Is for it to be across the board. You know, we have laws in place, and we have this tendency of enforcing laws depending on who the person is. So if it is you, man, me not gonna do you nothing. But if it's me, you're gonna make sure.
Yes.
You're gonna make sure, boy, that the law is enforced. But caller, before you go, there's something totally unrelated. You said you're a livestock farmer. You deal with livestock and so.
Yes, I deal livestock.
Okay, can you give me a call after the show? So as soon as we finish at 12, right? Call back the studio, and I want to have a conversation with you.
What studio number be?
Just there's a number you could call off here, or the same number. The same number, yeah. So you could call back the same number, but we'll speak to you off here.
Okay, no problem, Brother Devon.
Yeah,
no problem.
all right. Thank you for your contribution.
Okay.
It is 11:32, and you're listening to The Edge on ZIZ Radio. Here, we have a caller. Let's take this call.
Yes, Devon, how are you?
I am great, and you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing wonderful. Something puzzling me for a while. Okay, and I am. Most of the time, you hear that someone, a prime minister, a minister, or just take money from government treasury. Now, I am trying to find out. I'm trying to wonder how could someone rip off the treasury, whether it be the prime minister, who is minister of finance, or another minister, and the country have not missed that money, because all institutions that belong to government, banks, inland revenue, the controller of inland revenue, the controller of custom, money passed through their hands and they bank it to the treasury. So if the treasury received $15 million, I mean, the $15 million should be accounted for. So if someone steals money, you should know that that money has been stolen, because you only find $14 million.
Right.
And I think that people have the wrong concept when they say, oh, the thief treasury money. Now, I am one who firmly believes that politicians get money through government. And in that way, it's like making deals. Okay, I'm going to make sure that this bill got you for you, and you give me $1 million from it, or you give me $2 million from it. That's how I believe that politicians make their money.
Yeah, but let me show you something. Let me show you something, right? I'm going to give you a work. I'm going to tell you the project costs 10 million. But when I submit the information, man, I'm going to submit a contract or an invoice for 30 million.
Yep. I agree with you with that. So like I'm saying, but that money could be accounted for because something might be overbid. And that money registered that it gone to this project, which this project should have only cost $30,000, but it ended up cost $75,000. So it means that that was money gone for kickback.
Right.
So that money gone out as on this project. But I think most of us, I think we have it wrong, that we politicians go to the treasury and take up the treasury money. I think some people have that idea, and it's not so. Anyhow, I only touch on this because of what Culture said. My main thing to Culture Devonne, when last have you drive to the island? When last have you drive around St. Kitts?
Boy, in a while.
Okay, let me tell you something, right? Our island is dirty. It's awful. And I'm not speaking to the grass that grows up or the trees that grows up because we had some rain. I'm speaking to we as drivers and as pedestrians. It seems as if everything we have in our hand, we throw it out in the road. I mean, let's go to the road, let's go to the island and see how it looks. It looks awful. We are not accustomed to that. And I'm pleading to the government to get those little wardens. If they are not doing the work, get them out and get in other people. And make everybody a little warden then. So when you see a man throwing out something, you summon him and take him to the court. And the fee must be so high that you want to deter them. Because we are driving, we have a bottle in your hand, we throw it in the road. We are driving, we have a styrofoam cup that we eat from, we throw it in the road. We don't have any pride about our country.
All right.
It's up to yesterday I went around the island, and I'm very disappointed to see how our roads look. Not with the grass, not with the bushes, but with all those bottles, all those styrofoam, all those file paper that you throw to our vehicle. We need to be conscious about our country.
Caller, thank you so much for your contribution to the program. It is 11:36 and you are listening to The Edge here in ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Devonne Cornelius. The phone lines are open and we're taking your calls at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. Today is Thursday, December 7, 2023. We have a caller. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Cornelius.
Yes, caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yes. Now, you talk about corruption. And corruption really is nothing new. Corruption is so serious. Is that when God destroyed that generation with Noah, and I'm pointing you to Genesis chapter 6, verse 11 and 12, just a verse. The earth also was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way before the earth. Going to read 13. And God said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence to them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. God did destroy that generation. And Mr. Cornelius, I did hear people say, oh, man write the Bible. Man write the Bible. Well, who they expect to write the Bible? Mr. Cornelius, would you have like a monkey to write the Bible? Answer me. But
I don't think a monkey would be able to even write the Bible.
God made man in his own image, after his own likeness. When God created creation, the heaven and the earth and all that in the earth and heaven, God gave man dominion over the earth and everything. So when I hear them and say, oh, God, oh, man write the Bible, that is so ridiculous. But Mr. Cornelius, we are living in a time where corruption is rampant. Just recently, in the United States, I heard a high-profile man. He reached as far as the Assistant Secretary of State. Caught spying for Egypt, the Egyptian government, about a week ago. And he been doing this for a long time. All really for the sake of money. And this is a worldwide, really, experience. You have violence and corruption. Those were the two characteristics God decided to destroy the earth. And I am telling you, you see what is taking place, Mr. Cornelius, all around the earth? Violence. Apart from the wars with Israel and Ukraine and Russia and the Palestinians and so on. You have so much violence, I mean, even in our little island.
Yeah.
And I tell you, God is about to judge mankind, whether you want to believe it or not.
All right.
This word, heaven and earth shall pass away, but God's word will never pass. So corruption is nothing new. But I always really would appreciate the effort of any government to try to put measures to curtail whether it's violence or corruption. That is the duty. But I ain't expect it to get better. I expect it to get worse.
All right, caller. Well, we want to take some more calls, so thank you
Yes.
so much.
Okay. So that is it. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you for your contribution to the program. It's 11:40. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this call. Caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Devonne.
Good morning.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I think a lot of people take a similar view to that call in terms of basically saying that it's something we have to accept. And, they become very cynical, very disillusioned with it. And that's really unfortunate because that suggests that things would never change. And we really should be aspiring to change things. At least that meeting tomorrow, that press conference tomorrow, is a good start, but I don't think it's enough. I don't know. You're going to be attending?
I am trying, but the time is at 10, so you might run me a bit close.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah, because you see, when I look at the people who would be attending, that I think they have like the public prosecutor, and / special prosecutor, the integrity commissioners, the ombudsman / information commissioner, and the AG.
The AG.
I don't think that's wide enough. Because there are other people who are charged with making sure that we have good governance, we have low levels of corruption. Even if we can't eliminate it, we have very low levels of corruption. And I'm thinking in terms of people like the director of audit, who examines government accounts, making sure that there isn't anything untoward with any of them. I'm thinking of people like the Electoral Commission to make sure that the very foundation of our democracy is not corrupted.
Wow.
By things like money and the systems that we have. Because that's corruption too, right? I'm thinking of the Public Service Commission that governs the behavior, the running of the civil service.
Yes.
Right? Those, I think, should be part of this. Because, and of course, the Public Accounts Committee, at least the chairperson should have been there.
Who's the chairperson again? The leader of the opposition?
Exactly.
Is that committee active?
You tell me.
Why really unsure? That thing has never been active. I've been trying to find out myself for the past couple of years.
How could you have such an important
and it's just there on paper.
Parliamentary committees like that and it's not active? You can't bring all kinds of things, other things, and tell me, well, this is promoting the good governance agenda, when things like that, which are essentially embedded in that good governance agenda, is left unattended to. Makes no sense. And that's why, you see, we've had systems for a long while to give us that good governance agenda, but they have not been working. The Public Accounts Committee is one of them, right? So we can't be serious about good governance and then at the same time just sit with our hands in our laps, while these instruments that are supposed, the tools that are supposed to promote good governance are left inactive. We've seen, there are two ways that we've seen governments in the past make sure that these things aren't working. One is by starving them of finance. As a matter of fact, I think a previous commissioner, Integrity and Public Life commissioner, resigned for that very reason. You just don't fund the office. The second way is to delay things. Make it say, well, we're going to do these things, and saying that these things take time. You know how many governments use that excuse, and in the end, nothing happens? We'll see if the same thing happens here, right? The other way of doing it is to make sure that accessing these organs are difficult. The ordinary citizen should be able to access them and make sure that the people we elect, the people with responsibility in government, are acting in a proper way, that things are being done correctly. It should not be difficult.
When you say access, you mean in terms of getting information?
For instance, information, right? And you notice that it's only the press have been invited there, right? It should not be only the press. Anybody who wants to go should be able to go and ask questions for clarification. It should not only be the press who going to be given access to information. As a matter of fact, the opposition should be there tomorrow as well, because they have an important role to play in making sure that the government is held accountable and there is no corruption, even though they're not in government per se. They do have a watchdog role as well, and then I have not seen an invitation to them. Okay, so it's going to be interesting to see what kinds of questions the press asks tomorrow, right? Because they apparently are going to be the ones who are going to be keeping these people accountable. Because the question arises, these are supposed to be the guards of our democracy and good governance. Well, who's going to guard the guards? Who's going to make sure that the reports that they're supposed to issue are, in fact, issued in a timely fashion? Do we know, for instance, we know there's legislation that governs, for instance, the filing of assets and so on. Okay? Right. How many have? We don't even have to, at this stage, go into individual people and name and shame. But an idea of what percentage of the persons who are supposed to file have filed already would be useful information. Okay, and help prompt others to do what is the correct thing, what the law provides. So we have to wait and see how it's good. All these organs are good. Like I said, a number of them have been there before, but they have not been doing their jobs properly.
All right.
Okay? All right, then.
We'll have to take a break. We have a caller? Okay. Let's take this call and we'll take a break. Caller, go ahead quickly.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I struggled with Mr. McMahon just now. And think everybody's supposed to fit in me and I got an issue. Because right now, I don't like what happened here with the guy a while ago. That I would think it's dirty. And it's true. It's true. What was more so, I just watch Devonne when you go to by the Social Security, the bridge there. And the other bridge by the market, that ain't need nobody with know how to clean up. They don't need they call it a backyard. And they need to clean up the place. So it's over this kind of health thing. It made me feel so bad, Corona was coming up. Since it was so clean. One day I met up in 73, I was living at the village. And one gentleman, put up on me on a Sunday, we walking, coming up the road, the ship was there, and what's not. And you look at our burying and you say, oh my God, these are the nicest burying ground in the Caribbean. He was so pleased at the burying ground. The railing them dropped down now, nobody's seeing that they go back up. What is going on with our country? They're going there, Devonne. They're doing they say they're making a tomb. Carrying it in a barrel, and when it's done, carry it, take it back, clean it up. If you're going there right now in certain area, you just see all to the street outside too. Especially going back to the west side. You see a heap of fine stone there, a gravel there and a heap. No.
All right, caller. Well, thank you for your contribution. We want to take some more calls before we wrap up the conversation. Let's take this call.
Hey, Devon, how are you?
I am great, thanks.
I would like to applaud Mr. McMahon for the presentation that he made. It was well made. And, it's sad to say that when I heard you say that the opposition leader is supposed to be the chairperson of that committee. But we know that the opposition leader is only interested in what he can get from the federal government for Nevis, which in that Nevis should be getting their fair share, okay? I have no problem with that. But as long as the opposition leader get things to make him comfortable, he don't care about nothing else. And I'm saying it's so sad when people who we elected or people who are supposed to stand up for certain things get to that area. Anyhow, thanks a lot.
Thank you, caller, for your contribution. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take some more calls.
Good morning, Devon. How are you doing?
Good morning. You're on the air. I'm doing fine.
I want to give God thanks for today. It's a good day,
It is.
Despite of everything. And we need to pray for the other countries. Every minute we're hearing about earthquake and tremors. And we're taking it lightly, Mm-hmm. Antigua having Barbados, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, and Guadeloupe. Antigua just next door to us. But we just ready. All the attention is to rebel. Now, the Public Accounts Committee, if you remember, when Labour was in opposition, they said it was meaningless. I would have expected the AG to have done some amendment to it. Because if they have no confidence in it, you recall that statement, right?
I don't.
Yeah, you don't. Oh, he ain't got no teeth, and all of that kind of story. But he still ain't got no teeth. And the Auditor General is supposed to be there because he audits the government accounts. But what we have is the usual show. Implementation, I believe that when the ministers or people file their thing with integrity, it's supposed to be published. It should be published because if you publish it, people can challenge it. Mm-hmm. But if you don't publish it, you could actually go to the courthouse, and see how much land they buy, what they own. But it is difficult to challenge it when you got all of these kind of laws that they passed the last time. Prohibitive, this and that. Inland revenue could challenge it. But how can you when you muzzle the people that have access to information?
But if it's a case where you're asking people, the parliamentarians and public officials to file, I don't think that would fall under
no, what I mean, the people in some government
information or confidential information.
The people in some government department have access to information which can be used to check. You understand what I'm saying? Hello?
I'm listening to you, but
the people
not
in
entirely.
the Treasury,
I understand what you
they
mean.
print checks, right?
Uh-huh.
Then now, because the voucher comes in with the check.
Uh-huh.
Come in with the order to pay.
Uh-huh.
Then now, but when you put muzzle on them, they can't talk, and this can't talk, and that can't talk. Then all you're doing is securing the corruption. Corruption
But
against cancer, somebody
what do you
is...
mean by muzzle? Be clear. Talk straight, man. There we go.
Muzzle?
Yeah, what do you mean? What do I do?
Let me tell you.
Uh-huh.
Muzzle mean you see information.
No, stop. Stop. Hold on. I know what muzzle means, stupid. I asked you, what do you mean? What are you referring to?
I'm referring to the filings made to the Integrity Commission.
Right, and I am now asking you. Hold on. I am now asking you, right?
Yeah.
The filings made to the Integrity Commission, isn't that supposed to be public information or not?
That is what I'm saying, yes, but in other countries, they publish them in the papers. In saying case they don't publish none.
So you're saying it should be published in the papers?
Yes.
Okay.
So you could see, I mean, Lindsey Graham did it already, and he wasn't even elected then. Let everybody see. People working banks could tell you their liability more than that. But if there's no way of the public checking, I don't mean check to say you to grudge, right? Oh, he got that and he got that. But when you know, you understand what I mean, Devon? You understand me, you know?
Yeah, I'm listening to you, yeah.
And by the way, when I go tomorrow, I believe the journalists think the media should start to boycott these meetings. It makes no sense going to the meetings, asking questions, and not getting answers. It's frustrating because they have nothing to come back and say. Because not answer is given. Poor Glenn Bass, he's strong. Every time he go, he asks, he has never gotten an answer.
All right then. Caller, thank you for your contribution to the program.
God bless you.
11:55. You've been listening. We have a caller. Let's take one more. Caller, you are on the air.
Yes, Mr. Cornelius. I just want to show the consistency and the accuracy of the Word of God. And I want to point you to Luke chapter 17, verse 26, just briefly. And Jesus himself speaking, Jesus the Savior who came and died and he gone to heaven and coming back again. He said here, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. So what Jesus was saying was in relation to Genesis chapter 6, verse 10 and 11, that experience when that generation was wiped out by flood. So we are living in critical time.
All right.
This is Christmas time when we should be reflecting now on the coming of Jesus Christ, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller, for your contribution to the program. You've been listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Devonne Cornelius. Until next time, you guys stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and you have a good one. Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. Man, I'll take it easy on the people on the government road. Take it easy, please. Motivational quote. I want to bring this one back. Keep trying. Have a good one.